Do you want to make money from Kindle as a self-publisher but don't really know how to write your book? Don't worry, Kada Publishing class got you covered. In this video, we are going to show you 10 simple steps on how to write your first book. Let's hop into my screen as I show you how you can do that. Alright, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to write your book. 10 practical steps on how to outline, write, edit, and format your book. Because I notice a lot of people want to really make money from Kindle. A lot of people have been asking me how do they make money from Kindle. And the major issue is that they don't know how to write their book. They don't know how to outline a book. They don't know how to edit their books. They don't know even how to start the book in the first place. So this video is going to be showing us step by step on how we are going to do all that in 7 days, 30 days, depending on your own time. All right, let's go to the teaching proper so I can show you step by step on how you can do it. But before you start, I want you to know that before you start writing, you have to know some things. You don't just pick your pen and start creating your own book and start writing. The first thing you need to know is that you have to know the genre and the category you want to write on. Understand what type of book do you want to write? Do you want to write a non-fiction? Do you want to write a fiction? Okay, if it's a fiction, what type of fiction? Crime, love, romance. You understand? Those are the things you want to write a non-fiction. You have to think about it very deeply before you start. Choose the area you want to become an authority in. Like I used to tell people, you don't just come and say, I want to just write a book, and then you write today, you write about something, and tomorrow you write about another thing. It will not help you create your brand. That is what you have to know. You have to be a brand, you have to be an authority that people will say, okay, I want to read about, maybe they know about crime. For example, the person that I love so much in gospel romance novels is Francine River. She's very good at what she does. She just based her novels, her writings on love, and she's just talking about the love of God. If you see her write, she's just talking about love, romance, and basing it on the Bible stories. So you have to find your niche. You have to find where you are good at. That is the first thing you need to do. All right. Another thing is create your title. Make sure you know what you want to talk about before you pen your first word down. And I just want to break these things down for you to understand that you have to have a goal. You have to know what you want to do before you start writing. And you have to have these things in mind. Create what you want. You have to give people what you know you have, and also give them what they also want. Right? Create your content and outline your table, write your heart out. So you have to know that writing is all about creativity, writing is all about thinking, writing is all about focus, writing is all about branding. Some people don't know that writing is about branding, but I have to say this: writing is about branding, and you must know how to brand as a writer. All right, so how do you start writing? Writing is not hard, it's not rocket science, it's not something that you go to school to learn how to write. There's a book I read, Writing for Dummies. I watched some videos some other time about writing, and it was so amazing how easy writing is. You can write from anywhere, anytime, anyhow you like it. It starts from you penning a thought to penning other thoughts in line with your book title. All right, so like I said earlier, you need a title. You need to know, which I will discuss very soon, to how to create a title. You need to pen your thoughts in line with what you are thinking. For example, I have some books lined up, and the first book I've written, You Failed So What? All right, in that book, You Failed So What? I wrote about failure and how to overcome failure. All right, so in that book, I was just writing my thought based on that title that I made. All right, so you have to create your title, then write your thoughts in line with that title. Start with a line or two, then the other line will take place. All right, I'm just giving you highlights of these things because I'm going to say it next to show you how to really do it. Writing is not about searching for big grammars. Some people always like to use dictionary words to, it's not about it at all. It's about using simple words to express your greatest experiences. All right, writing is just about using simple words, finding the simple words that would, resonate with other people's heart, and express what you always feel. Express your own thoughts, your own views, and all this. Your book is already in your mind. Write it. You have your book already in your mind. You don't go and start searching for books to write or go and start stealing from other people. If you're a reader, you're a learner, you are a student of life and you have experience. I don't mean school student right now. I'm talking about the student of life. You have gone through the school of life. If you have gone through um, the school of experience, you have things to write about. Okay, that is for people. But if you have a story that people I know that they can sit down and write stories, creative stories, and they'll catch people's heart with it. So it is in your heart already. The book you have is in your mind already, it's in you already. Just write it. All right, let's go. I want to teach us how to create the content of your book. It's a simple step and we'll dive into it straight away because I don't want us to waste so much time to talks. All right, let's go. Step one, get an idea. Very, very important. This is one great step to take in writing your first book. It is quite important you know where you are going before you actually take off. Get an idea. All right, so I sat down and I wanted to create my first book. I was just thinking, what should I write about? What do people need to hear right now in this time, in this our economy right now, in this situation going around the world? What do people need to hear right now? I sat down, I used my own life experience, how people have talked down on me, told me I was a failure and stuff, and I wrote a book on that. All right, I'm not saying you should write a book on failure. I'm just trying to tell you how I caught my own inspiration. You have to get your own inspiration for your book. Sit down and think, what can I write? How can I write it? You understand? What is the big idea? And the way to catch an idea is to first think of a need, think of a problem, and think of a way to solve the problem. That is how it is. You're actually in business. Writing a book is writing an information product that can help somebody's life improve. So you have to think, what is it that people need right now? What does people want to hear about? Even if you are writing it as a story, you're writing it as a non-fiction or a kids books, whatever book you want to write. Fiction, love, romance story, crime story, vampire story. Is it drama? Is it motivational books? Whatever about God, about whatever you want to write, you must get an idea. That is very, very important for us. All right, the next step before you pen your first word, you must ask first of all, what do I want to write about? What is this book going to be about? That's just the thing. Ask yourself a deep question before you go into writing at all. All right. What will this topic solve any problem or help anyone? Like I said before, you have to think about problems, you have to think about the needs of people. What are people looking for? Although there are great tools for you to do that, tools like Google Trend and other tools that will give you what people are really talking about. Then the next question you ask is, who will read this book? Who will read this book? All right. You have to have the audience in mind before you start writing. You don't just pick your pen and start drafting without an audience in mind. You have to have an audience. If you notice, um, the question 2 and 3 goes on the same line. It goes along. You understand? So you can just ask, who is this audience? Who am I writing for? You understand? For me, I was looking at. I have series of other books. I look at the problem first before I write anything and before I create an idea of writing a book. And then most times I catch the ideas while I'm taking my bath or while I'm eating or while I'm walking on the street. You can just catch the idea. Find the audience before you get an idea. So that it will help you a lot. All right, the next question you need to ask is, can I communicate my ideas effectively with this book? Very, very important. You need to know if you can communicate your ideas effectively with this book or not. So it will help you to connect with the people that are reading your books. So next step is find and research your genre. Find and research your genre. That is the next step. Now you have got a big idea. The next step is to find what category your book falls into and make proper research on it. This is where people miss it when they are trying to sell their books on Amazon. Now come in, start saying, oh, and they want to sell it in so categories and all that. In subsequent videos that we are going to have, we are going to be teaching you how to sort the right category to sell your book, the category, the subcategories to sell your book, because it's very important that you know these things. So you will not just go and put your book there and then your book will be lost in the crowd and you will not know how to. So you have to research and you have to choose a category of the kind of book you love to read. For me, I love motivation. Yes, I love crime, I love romance, but for me, my in thing is motivation. My in thing is giving solution to problems. So I have to find that category, and then I have to choose the right path. So if you have chosen a niche or the kind of book you love, then you are on the right path to your success. On mine falls on motivation, spiritual, business, um, but I have to choose one. Understand? Right now, I kind of write, you understand, on every topic, but I'm kind of wanting to specify. I want to choose my best niche and I stay there. All right. So, but I'm niche down now for to motivation and business. The two goes hand in hand. And so, find out what people want to read, embark on a research, use sites like Google Trend, like I said before, and Amazon. These are the best sites you can use to find what people want to read. To find what people would love to read, go to Amazon bestsellers list. Okay, go when you search on Amazon, there's a place called Amazon bestseller list. I would There's a picture there, you can see the picture, so you can just go there and pick what you want to write. Just find what people love to read. In there, you can see the bestsellers. From there, you can choose what you want to write and write it. It has already been done. People have made it easy for you. All you just have to do is log on and make it work. All right. The next is how to find your best-selling niche. Find what bestsellers are doing to sell. Read their description and blogs. The description, you always see a description at the back of every book. Every book you see a description. If it's not at the back, you see it under the book. As immediately after the price on Amazon, you will see the description. Just read the description. Find out why their book is selling. Why are they selling as much as they're selling? Why are they in the bestsellers list? Or try and ask those questions. Don't really rush into writing. Try and ask so many questions before you write. Understand? Because it will help you. Writing and just dumping it there for people to read is not really the kind of professional way to write. You have to find what are people reading, what is it that people are reading. I've written some books that I have never listed in any place at all because why I feel this is not what people want for now. All right, I rather do a giveaway with those books than just putting it up and wasting my time to do it. I've already wasted my time to write it, so I don't want to waste more time trying to market it when I know that the market is not buying it. Okay, so you have to find the best description and blog, read their descriptions and blog, find out what they are all doing right, then do it differently. You have to bring something new to the table. Don't just read their blog, then copy and paste everything. No, find out what they are doing, then do it differently. That is a strategy for business. That is a strategy for winning. When you find out what they are doing and you do it differently, know how long you want your title to be. This is very important. Some people have very long title. Before you finish reading the title, would have slept off, or before your readers would finish reading the title, they would have clicked off, and then that is a no traffic for you. So you have to make your title short and precise. All right. Have it in mind how many pages you would love the book to be by checking on your competition. Now, your competition, you must know that, okay, your competition is having some amount of pages of the book. You don't just create your page 40 pages, 50 pages, 100 pages, 200 pages. You have to have what are they doing? How many pages are they creating in their books? So when you find how many pages they create, you can just do it differently. You can either make it shorter or make it longer, just a little longer. All right. So to be able to be on the right spot. All right. So step three, create a roadmap. Very, very vital. Creating a roadmap is like creating an outline. The first thing you must do after conceiving your big idea is to create an outline for your book. Very, very important. An outline is like a roadmap that can easily help you navigate through the pages of your book and also help you communicate your thoughts effectively. Because if you just want to write and you wake up and you say, I want to write, I want to talk about magic stones, or I want to talk about agriculture, I want to talk about things going on in the world, I want to talk about the economy, I want to write about business, and you just start writing without a roadmap, without a direction, you will just miss it. Because why? You will get to a point and you'll be confused and you don't know how to communicate. You have to get an outline. All right, how to write a book outline. Choose a format for of your choice that works for you. There are people that have different kind of formats that works for them. Some like to have a chapter by chapter, version one, verse one or so. Some people like to have it partition it in different parts, part one, part two, part three. You understand? Then have chapters under the part. Just find the style that suits you. For me, I just like my introduction, chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, chapter four, five. You understand? And it's done. So choose the one that is good for you, the one that you love to do most. That is what you choose. Make sure you have a beginning, middle, and end. You understand? Make sure you know, okay, this is how the book will start. This is where the middle is. If you are writing a thriller, or you are writing a storybook, or you are writing whatever you are writing that has to do with romance, crime, you have to know that you have to begin with a beginning, a middle, and an ending part. The middle is where the thriller comes in, then the ending part is where the suspense and the rest. You understand? So you have to have them in mind before you start. Okay, consider your conflicts or points. You understand? You have to consider your points. What point do you want to drive? You don't just write because you want to write. You so you must have a point. You must have a point that you want to drive home to people. You must have something that you want to say, and you must say them by highlighting them point by point. That's why you see some people do chapter one, chapter two, chapter three of their book, because those are the points they want to make, and each chapter carries the points. So you have to know how to put these things together. Your novels, you have to know how to put the conflicts together and all these things. So get to know your character is another one you have to consider. Getting to know your character is the people writing stories, novels, and the rest. You have to know that writing a fiction, you have to know your characters, you have to know how to define your characters, what roles your characters are playing, how to arrange your characters, and the rest. So this is very vital in outlining your book. So you have to really, really take it into consideration. Okay, let's move to step 4. Start strong. Your first word can make or mar your book. So you have to write it with care. Don't be afraid and don't rush. You have to write your first word with care. You have to think deeply before you write your first word. Don't just rush off and start writing. Understand? Think about what do you want to write. Before I would ever pen a thing, I have to think very well before I write a word. Because the first thing is what will make the person continue reading. The first word we want to drive the person to read more. So if you are writing a novel, a fiction, you have to write it in a way that the first word will catch them. As they open the book, wow, they want to know more. You understand? You give them an insight into what this person is doing, or what is about to happen next, or what has happened. You understand? Let there be a question and let them want to know more. Okay, first off, you need an opening hook that grabs the reader's attention and make it impossible for them to look away. Like I said before, you need something to keep them going. You need something to be on their mind. You need it to keep them hooked to that book. They will not drop it. There are some books I've carried like that, and I don't even want to drop it because I want to continue reading it and reading it and reading it till I finished it. All right, so that is very important that you do. All right, step 5, focus more on creating substance. Very important. The key to writing an amazing book is style. Impressive vocabulary, elaborate sentence, figurative language that could make professors stand on their feet. All right. So in the style, you have to create your style, create substance. All right. It's not about having impressive vocabulary, elaborate sentences, figurative languages that will make professors stand on their feet. It's not about that. It's about you coming up with something that is tangible, something that can solve a problem, something that can spur somebody's emotion to, somebody's desires to rise and say, wow, this is what I've been looking for. So that is what you need. There's nothing else. You have to creating a tangible substance that people can relate with is far more relevant, very relevant than the good English, very relevant than impressive vocabulary, elaborate sentences just to impress people. You are not there to impress people. All right, you are just there to create something tangible that people can use to bless their lives. All right, so points to note: make sure your book is all killer, no filler. Every sentence must do one or two things: reveal the purpose and advance the book. That is just the purpose of your book, to reveal the purpose and advance your book. Be conscious of your pacing. Slow pacing is a sign of too much description. If a sentence does not accomplish one or both of these things, try removing it. If the passage still makes sense, leave it out. Like I was writing and I noticed that I wrote something that does not really make sense. I have to remove some paragraph because it does not really make sense to be there. It was not communicating anything. That's when I was editing and proofreading. I was even thinking to myself, why did I put it there at the first place? In the first place. All right, slow pacing is a symptom of excess description. If the event of your book seems to move like molasses, you are probably using too much style and not enough substance. All right, so like I said, substance is what you need. Make sure your points are clear and elaborate so that you can be able to attract your readers and keep them reading. All right, use writing tools to reduce your flowery language. Writing tools, there are so many writing tools: grammar checker, grammarly, understand, proofreader, a lot of them online. If you are using I will mention some of them at the end of the listing, and I will leave the description below so that I will leave a link below the description so that you can see it. And all right, click on it and get these apps, wonderful apps that can help you. All right, so simply paste your writing into the app and it will suggest a way for you to make your prose more concise and effective. All right, so you just, when you copy your words from Microsoft Word or whatever you are using to write, you paste them and they will show you a more concise and effective words that you can use to write your book, making it easy for it to flow and for them to grab. All right, step 6: start writing with your audience in view. You should always be thinking about your audience and trying to write readers first. It is about them, like I said. It's about them, it's about your audience. Who are your audience? And it's about what they want to read, not what you want to read. All right, because most times what you are writing may not make sense to you, but to them, they are relating with it. All right, so it does not have to really make sense to you per se, it has to make sense to them. So sometimes it's good to create, oh, would I call it fake audience? So you have them in mind, you try to reach out to them, you understand, to see how they will do it. Marketers always do that. They'll have to say, okay, who is our this thing? They'll create a fake audience to know who will read this book, and then they will have it in their mind that they are writing for these people and they are not writing for themselves. So it is what will catch them, you understand, how you can relate with them, the style which you can relate with them is different. All right, so that is just it. Write with your audience in view, not with your own mind. All right, the next thing is set word count goals. This is very, very important because see, if you don't know how many this thing you want to write, you get tired and you leave your book project. Trust me, I've been there. When I first started writing, it was as if this writing stuff is heavy on me. But I started loving it day by day because I set my goals and I started following it. Okay, I must write 2 pages every day. I must write 2 chapters every day. You understand? I must write 1,000 words every day, 1,500 words every day, and 500 words every day. It depends on you. And you know the timing of time you use to cover your goal. All right. So, what counts goal? You create a daily writing routine by setting a word count goal. Sorry for that typo error. Right, what can go plays a huge part in creating an effective writing process. So you should create your word can go for both your individual section per week or per month, if that's how you prefer to think about your writing output. For relative novice writers, we would recommend the following word count goals: 500 to 750 words per day, very achievable. If you set 500 and 750 goal per day, it's very achievable. 1,005 to 2,500 per week. If you take it 500 by 500, 500 by 500, before you know, I've written like 3 pages per week, or 4 pages, or even more than 5 pages per week, 6,000 to 10,000 words per month. You understand? It makes it easier for you to reach your goal. When you use 500 words, okay, I will write 500 words. You look at where you stopped before and you start writing. You understand? And to make the work very, very easy for you. All right. So the next the next thing is speeding up the writing process. If you are looking for how to write a book as fast as possible, your word count goal should look more like this: 1,500 words per session, as per day, 9,000 9,000 to 15,000 words per week, and 35,000 to 50,000 words per week. I think I've been doing more than 9,000 words per day right now. Before I used to write 1,500 per week, but now I write, I think I do 9,000 words per week, per day now, because it helps me a lot and I can be able to speed track my book. And it's very easy. Writing is a very, very easy thing. You will love it when you start writing. And you know, the world has made it easy. Now there are tools you can also use for writing. All right, but I'll talk about it later. If this is your first book, make sure you take your time, set manageable word goals, and gradually build a bigger goals, which is where our next tip comes from. All right, establish a healthy routine. Having a healthy routine is the only way you will actually hit those word count goals. Very, very, very. Have a routine, because if you set a goal and you don't have a routine, you don't make it a routine to do it every day, you will just get tired and push the book project away, and that's what causes failure. Because if you say, okay, I will write this book in 2 weeks, and you don't set the routine to write per hour, per day, understand, per week, you cannot hit the goal. So you have to set a routine. Not to mention, it fosters a better relationship with writing overall. To establish a healthy routine, ask yourself important questions first. When do I have the most free times in the week? When do you have the most free times? Is it in the evening, in the night, in the morning, in the noon? You understand? At noon, you understand? And you have these free days. This is the time for you. Like Nigerians, I know most Nigerians go to work and come back in the evening. 5 o'clock, they are back rested. By 8 o'clock, you can start writing, and maybe by 10, you can finish 3 hours a day. Make sure you do it 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day. Just make a routine. What time of the day do I tend to be more productive? Now, that is another question you have to ask yourself. What time of the day are you always productive? Is it in the morning? Is it in the night? Is it in the afternoon? That is when you should start writing. Okay, how do I space out my writing sections effectively? How do I space out my writing section effectively? Now, this is another thing you need to do. You need to ask yourself, how do I space it effectively? Do I do it 1 hour, 2 hours? Do I do it Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, or Monday, Wednesday, Fridays? You understand? How do I do it so I can be effective? How do I space it out? Will I realistically be able to balance my writing goal with other responsibilities? For people who go to work, I know that people who work in banks, agricultural places, markets, business people, they'll be so tired when they come out, especially teachers too. Understand, they'll be so tired when they come back from work, pastors, understand, and other people who works full-time jobs. They'll be so tired when they come back from work, and they may not know how to balance their good writing goals, and most times they'll be so tired they can't even carry their laptops or their pads or whatever they are using to write, even their phones, to even construct anything. All right, so this is the time to ask yourself those questions. Will I realistically be able to balance my writing goals with other responsibilities? So you have to ask that question before you embark on your writing journey. All right, so step 9, set up a productive space. Make sure the space is clean, quiet, convenient, sorry for my typo again, and free of distractions. Very, very vital. Very, very vital. That making of that space will give you a clear mind to write. Make sure the place is clean. because when you have a clean place, there will be no distraction. All right. So when you have a clean place, it's very clean, and you can sit down and godly thoughts and good thoughts will be coming out of your mind. All right. Quiet. The best must be quiet. That's where inspirations are born. Some people are when they are in a quiet place, and wherever you are in a quiet place, that is the job of yoga. You understand? Whenever you're in a quiet place, there's an inspiration that comes to your spirit, and you will be able to, write without stress. All right, another one is convenience. How convenient is the place? You understand? How convenient is that place you are writing? Is it somewhere that is tight, that can, that is so squeezed, although it's neat and all, but it's just so squeezed and crampy that you can't be able to move around, because you need that free space, honestly. And lastly is to avoid distractions. Some people who have kids, wives, just gotten married, or in a job, you understand, they are always distracted. If you're in a job, that is not the right time to write your book, because there will so much distractions, and you will not be able to concentrate. If your kids are around, or you have them at home, you have to find a way to make them to rest. In fact, the perfect time to write, I would say, is in the middle of the night, where everybody have slept, and you have time for yourself, or early in the morning, very early in the morning, like around 2, 3, 4 to 6 o'clock. That is when you can have the free time to write your books. All right, so let's go to the final one. Use writing softwares. Very, very important. Like I said, there are links below the subscription, so you can go there and pick um and click on anyone you like to use. We have different softwares like Scrivener, Focus, Red Sea Book Editor, Milestone, MileNote, and for mobile phones you have Proofreader and so on, Grammarly, Grammar Checker. You understand? That's for your mobile phone if you're using your mobile phone. Scrivener is a great um, tool, and it's not expensive, very cheap to use, very easy to use, and friendly. Focus to the same thing. Reci Book Editor, although I've not used Reci Book Editor before, but I know it is an awesome app, and you can use it for your book editing, book writing. You understand? So it can make it easier for you, so you will not have to be thinking, oh, how to use this English right? You understand? And another stress I found in writing is looking for somebody who do proofread and paying large for proofreading. These tools can even make it more easier for you, so you will not pay so big in proofreading. All right, so Scrivener, um, Focus, Reci, Book Editor, RBE, Milestone. That's are for computers, for your PC. For your mobile phone, you use Proofreader, you need Grammar Checker, you need Scrivener. Also, I heard that is also on Android Store and Apple Store. All right, so you can also check it out. All right, check the link below on the subscription below, and then you get these apps, the links to this app. Right, hope you learned something. If you did, just click on the subscription button and subscribe and be a part of what we are doing. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can also be receiving our videos. We have videos coming up every week, so you will not miss any of them when it comes. And also you can also smash that like button so we can be able to get our videos discovered easily by you and so many other people who need it. It helps our YouTube algorithm, and it also helps us to know that you like what we are doing and that you support us. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video. We'll be having other videos that will be discussing about certain other things that you can do to make your book writing and Kindle business a success. Thank you for watching.